Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin and Governor R.N. Ravi's clashes galore is now legendary. K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who is also known as KCR, Chief Minister of Telangana, has clashed with Dr. Tamil Isai Soundararajan many times. And of course, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan's colliding with Governor Arif Mohammed Khan. Just a few hours ago, Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi had yet again raised the hackles of the ruling Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam and Stalin when he equated India's hosting of G20 with celebrating Sanatana. Let's look at this debate from all angles. Of course, there is politics, but there is also polity. There is also policies, as it were. Let me now welcome the guest to my show, Sebastian Paul, who is CPIM, leader of the CPIM, is now joining us. Lieutenant Commander retired Gokul Chandran, who is a very well-known political analyst, is also with us. And we shall also be joined by Satish Kumar, who is advocate with the Madras High Court, and M Rajendran, who is a senior journalist. Namaskaram, and very nice to see all of you here. Very nice to see all of you here. I want to first start with Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, this is not the first time, when we have seen Mr. Vijayan actually, having this overt, open, almost bordering on aggression kind of a slugfest with Governor Khan. We'll talk about the Sarkaria Commission later, which actually listed what the rights and the duties of a governor is and the center-state relations, as it were. But I'm asking you that, time and time again it happens. Of course, Tamil Nadu, it's been happening. It's happened in West Bengal also, sir. But I'm only talking, being the South Indian, I'm only going to talk about the South. What is it? Is it just purely politics, you think? Someone may see it as, come on, Governor Khan is only doing his duty. I mean, if he's supposed to be pliable, then what's the point of him being a governor? Your reaction, Mr. Paul?
The governor's constitutional duty is to give assent to the bills passed by the legislature. Here, our governor, Arif Mohammed Khan, is refusing to discharge that obligation. In a British model parliamentary system, the role of the governor, the centrally appointed governor, is well defined, not only by Sarkaria Commission and other commissions, but also by the Supreme Court in illustrious cases like Bombay case, etc. Everything is there, everything is clear. But our governor, Arif Mohammed Khan, at the behest of the ruling party in the center, he is playing politics. It is really unfortunate and painful to see an popularly elected chief minister and the nominated governor are at loggerheads over the issue of discharging a constitutional function. As you have just now mentioned, it is for several months the governor is sitting over bills which are passed by the legislature in its legislative competence. What is the reason? If he has valid reason to object to the passing of a bill, there is constitutional methods and procedure for him what to do.
Mr. Paul,
he has to.
Yeah, Mr. Paul, I'm sorry to be interjecting, but I will just take the viewers through one other instance. There was a flashpoint when Governor Khan had demanded the resignation of the VCs after the Supreme Court verdict that the appointment of the vice chancellors of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University in Thiruvananthapuram was illegal. Now, would you see that as a very logical reason for, registering a protest? You said, does he have a reason? There are constitutional measures. But first step to any constitutional measure, even if I have to go to court, is basically complaint. So, any complaint that he lodges, there seems to be immediately, there is innuendos about RSS, about BJP. So, do you think it is only politics which makes Governor Khan and Pinarayi Vijayan government not see eye to eye at all?
No, it is nothing but politics.
Okay,
because
sir.
we know we know in our system, the governors are appointed by the ruling party at the center. When the ruling party is at the center and the states belong to different categories, This always happen. This is not only happening in Kerala alone. What is it, Tamil Nadu, in Telangana, in West Bengal, everywhere. Everywhere these BJP nominated or appointed governors are at loggerheads with the chief ministers. They are creating obstructions, unconstitutional obstructions for the government to function. That is what is happening in Kerala also. If the governor, in his wisdom, is disagreeing to a legislative proposal, there is method, there is a procedure prescribed by the constitution for him to act. His inaction for several months without assigning any reason is unconstitutional, nothing but unconstitutional.
Right. Let me go to the lawyer now, because let's understand, and then I will go to, Gokul and M Rajendran. Satish, I want to know, taking from, what Mr. Sebastian Paul said. He said there are constitutional methods, but my contention is that when the governor registers his protest or says no to something, immediately it's given a, I'm not saying it's unfair, but it's seen through the prism of politics, Satish. The point is, suppose I am the governor, okay, and I don't give assent to particular bill. What constitutional measure do I have to register my protest even further, Satish? Is there a constitutional provision for that?
Namaste. First of all, in this issue, now we are seeing in the current trend, many governors are conflicting with the legislative assembly, and especially with the chief ministers. And the allegation is generally is that always it happens when the opposition party, which is a non-BJP party, is sitting in any state, they are having a conflict with their governors. That is a general tendency. And I personally feel that even governor nowadays have been brought into the political scenario when such situations were not there previously. But nowadays, when the governor says something, even in as a public speech, that has become a politics by the ruling party members. And I think in this issue also, the governor's stand of whether to give assent to the bills or to send back for reconsideration, that is a general constitutional provision under 200 and 201. It happens. A bill can be accepted or maybe sent back for any suggestions. And in this case, it's quite surprising that the Honorable Governor has rejected it, because so far the bills being rejected has not happened so far. Bills have been kept pending, or sometimes it has been sent for consideration. But in this case, our Honorable Governor has said that he is going to reject it. So this is quite a different scenario. That's what I feel from my situation.
Yes, and also I'm going to talk to you about, that then the Chief Minister, that is Pinarayi Vijayan, saying, I will go to the apex court, to the Supreme Court. And I think in the recent history, past history, one hasn't seen this legal route being taken. Of course, there is politics about who you are, who I am, what do you support, Sanatana, etc. Tamil Nadu is now governor and Chief Minister's story is almost every day making headlines, right? Mr. Rajendran, welcome to the show. Mr. Rajendran, what Pinarayi Vijayan has now said, I will go to the Supreme Court. It's because of 8 bills which are pending, the public health and also other important bills which are there. Mr. Sebastian Paul just spoke and he said, look, it is of course about politics. But I have a question to ask you. If this is how politics is being played out, what happens to people whose lives depend on those bills? I vote you in, if I am a voter, I vote you in so that you can also legislate for me. But this has been going on and on. The purpose itself is lost, no? It becomes counterproductive, Mr. Rajendran.
So, Sudha, just to start my argument, I have a small quote of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, which has been quoted quite often, but it has become more relevant now than ever, is howsoever good a constitution is, if the people implementing it are bad, it will turn out to be bad. And howsoever bad a constitution be, if the people who are implementing it are good, it will turn out to be good.
Right.
So that's where the whole argument lies. Let's take the next step, the Sarkaria Commission. I'm sure, earlier speaker had mentioned about it. There were two critical points which I want to highlight. One was that they had said that, the people who are appointed should be seen as somebody who would be supporting the efforts of the state government in serving the people. If you look at the debates of the Constituent Assembly, where Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Alladi Krishnaswamy had very categorically mentioned the role of governor and what it should be, people have forgotten those things. So you coming back to politics, you have voted, I have voted, and we want our services to be given by the government. And if a governor, if he is seen, if the person is seen to be obstructing the whole process and not facilitating it, you as a governor, if you are a learned governor, and you have some objection to it, you could probably send it to the president, and president can have a look at it. There are mechanisms to do it, but to hold it and not allow it to allow the elected government to function is something just not politics.
Yeah, so what you're saying, Mr. Rajendran, is that it becomes the synergy is lost, there is no synchronization, work is stalled, and it is only about getting political brownie points, at all levels. You do this, I will do this, you do. It's like children playing, and it's revenge taking. Gokul Chandran, what Mr. Rajendran said, and very rightly, that it is about working together for legislating, for helping the people who are there. Now, the thing is that the Pinarayi Vijayan government has time and again seen everything through the prism of its ideology. I mean, you say something, they'll say, oh, you are an RSS man, you do this, you'll say, oh, it is Hindutva. So, do you think that on both sides, and I am not blaming just one side, I am only talking about the common man, because those 8 bills which are pending, it's not only about Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan or his cabinet members, it's about those many Malayalis who reside in Kerala. Do you think that it is time that, this kind of, like Rajendran says, that, let's then have governor who can work with a particular chief minister? Do you think that kind of a change is required now?
Yeah, good evening, Sudha and my fellow panelists. See, the one thing is very sure that BJP, whenever they cannot come to power in a state, they try to run the state through the Raj Bhavans of that particular state. The same is happening in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, or Telangana, or whichever state. See, these 8 bills were passed by the Legislative Assembly, where 140 MLAs have cleared the bill, and the governor has no business. I'll put it in a blunt, bold way. The governor has no business to stop the bill or even check on the bill, because it has been cleared by the Legislative Assembly, and the role of governor is just to sign it and clear it. See, we have discussed earlier regarding the ordinances, the appointment of VCs and all. Yeah, I agree to that the governor has some say, because he's the chancellor of the universities, or he's the head governor of the state, and he can ask the government or the ministers regarding the ordinances and appointments. But regarding the bills should be cleared. Henceforth, nothing should be kept pending. That should be the role of governors of any state. Let it be a BJP ruled state, let it be a Congress ruled state. Tomorrow the roles may reverse. The Congress might come to power in 2024 and BJP
Gokul, wait a minute. I know that governor is a constitutional appointment, But the point is, if everyone is going to agree with everyone, then what happens in democracy? Even in the same party, I may be fighting with you. I don't agree to certain things.